Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is me, Psychic Medium Natasha, and in today's video was actually a very highly requested video for quite some time. I'm actually just now finally getting ready to do this, so I wanted to dedicate a video for this. So in today's video, I want to talk about magic circles. What is a magic circle? How are they important? How can you cast a circle? And how do you close a circle properly? So if you're interested in learning all about magic circles, then please keep watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, you guys, so that I can have your support. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you guys don't miss out on any of my free spiritual content. But that being said, I want to move right on into this video. We're going to be talking about magic circles, as well as me giving you the demonstration, or at least walking through the steps on how to do this for you. So yes, let's talk about magic circles. So what is a magic circle? A magic circle simply is a circle that is set to be sacred space for any rituals and any spell work, so that that energy is contained. It's not being influenced by what's outside the circle. It acts as a sacred space, and it's also an energetic barrier, so that all the energies that you're raising and manifesting, they're contained so that anything outside the circle cannot influence what's happening in there. So that's what a magic circle is. Wiccans, witches, and pagans and spiritual practitioners love casting circles, but you don't have to cast a circle for every ritual and every spell you do. It's up to you when you would like to cast a circle. Personally, I only like to cast circles if I'm doing big ceremonial work, or if I'm doing some intimate work with my spirit guides. So it's up to you to use your own discernment and intuition when you feel it is best to cast a circle, because it is not required to cast a circle at all times. You don't have to, but it's great to do. And that's the next thing we're going to talk about, is why are magic circles important? And it's simply because magic circles are a great way for you to protect your energy, for you to contain all the energies that you're raising and manifesting, and so that they can't be influenced by any outside sources. So for me, I like to use casting a circle as for ultimate protection and for sacred space, and some rituals may be best to do that. But like I said, use your own discernment, because you don't have to cast a circle for everything you do. But they are absolutely a great thing to use. They're very basic, but they are very effective. Magic circles are very effective. So let's talk about, how do you actually cast a circle? I'm going to talk about the elements of casting a circle, as well as how do you call upon them. So that's what we're going to talk about. So for demonstration purposes, I'm actually going to be using my whiteboard, okay? I just feel like that's going to be easier and better for me demonstrating and sharing this than me walking around the room and doing all this. And yeah, this. Okay, so I hope you guys can read this. It may or may not be, backwards, like in the video. I'm unsure, but I'm going to speak this. So a magic circle is a magic circle is legit a circle, but there's 4 points, or the 4 corners. There's different names for this. These could be the elements. These could be the 4 directions. These could be the 4 watchtowers. It all kind of depends on your beliefs and your own spiritual traditions and culture, really. Personally, I call forth the elements. I work with the elements very much so in my personal spiritual practice. So that's what I practice for casting a circle. And that's what I'm going to be teaching you today. Okay? Because I am an eclectic witch. I'm not Wiccan, and I am pagan, but this is how I do it. So, your circle is legit a circle. And then you're going to have your 4 elements. Earth is on the north. Air is at the east. Fire is at the south. And west is water. The way you do this is north, east, south, and west. That's the way you go. North, east, south, west. Okay? So that's how you want to call upon the circle and set up your circle, is that sequence. North, east, south, west. Earth, air, fire, water. Earth, air, fire, water. Okay? Now, you want to also, now this is optional. Some people like to physically mark out the circle themselves because they like to see the border and know where to physically cross and not. That's up to you. If you want to make a whole circle out of stuff, you know, whether that's yarn or chalk or salt or crystals or herbs or whatever, and you make the whole circle with that, that's up to you. That's like you making the border. Personally, I just like to energetically draw a circle with my finger or either a wand or an athame, and then I lay out physically the 4 points or the 4 corners of my circle, which is earth, air, fire, water. That's how I like to do it, but it's up to you. I just personally find that, you know, you could waste a lot of materials doing the whole circle, and depending on where you are and stuff like that, that just might be a lot. So that's how I like to do it. I will physically clean the declutter out of the room or the space that I want to cast my circle. So I'll clean the space, no clutter, no mess, and then I'll physically cleanse the space. That could either be incense or Florida water spray or my singing bowl or bells or whatever you best see fit. You want to cleanse the space so no residual energies are mixing in with what you're doing. Okay? So once you're done cleaning and cleansing your space and optional setting out your border, you want to set the 4 points. Now, the 4 points are connected to the elements, earth, air, fire, water. So for earth, at the north point, you can put crystals or herbs, plants, clay, or a green candle, for an example. At the east, which is air, you can use a feather to symbolize the element of air. You can use a feather, incense, bells, or put a yellow candle there. For the fire, which is south, you can put lighter, some matches there. You can put your athame, which is like a ritual dagger. You could put snakes there, or a symbol of snake skin, because snakes are associated with fire, salamanders. And then you can put a red candle there with fire. Now for the water, you can either put legit cup of water, or you could put a cup of water or a chalice there. You could put your cauldron, shells, or a blue candle. So that's what you want to do, okay? You can mark out the perimeter of your circle, or you can put out the 4 points. When you mark out your 4 points, you want to put representations of each of those points. So of those elements. Something of earth, something of air, something of fire, and something of water. The middle of this is where you're actually doing your ritual or spell or whatever the hell you're doing to cast your circle. Because when you cast your circle, you're casting your circle so that you can be in your sacred space to do whatever the hell you want to do. Whether that's meditating, you know, divination work, or an actual spell or ritual, that's up to you, okay? So, once you're done marking out all the 4 points, then you want to actually call forth the elements, or call the watchtowers, or call the 4 directions. There's different names for this, but I like to call the elements. And the reason why you do this is because you're actually calling in those 4 corners, or these 4 specific powers, to create the barrier in this physical realm, which is going to be your sacred space, okay? And once you cast a magic circle, it is sacred space within this dimension and into the next, okay? I'm clairvoyant. I can see energies and stuff. And in my experience, when I cast a circle, no energies from this dimension or in the astral realm and stuff like that can actually penetrate in that circle. So I love doing that. But anyway, so when you're ready to cast a circle, you're going to want to start at Earth, okay? Because you want to work from north, east, south, and west. So let's say you make, you know, this is the room. This is your room. This is the circle. So you laid out your 4 points, and they're like, okay, let's start at Earth. Let's call forth Earth. And here's an example of that, okay? I will be typing down examples of what I'm mentioning in this video down in the description box below. So even though I'm talking about this, if you need to see visual notes written out, that's going to be in the description box of this video. Check that out for you. Okay, so for an example, when you're going to Earth, you want to go to the north of that circle, okay? And some people like to actually use a compass to determine where the points are of their circle. They want to be, geographically right. So you can use that on your phone with an app. You can, if you have an actual compass, that's cool. But use the compass to determine where your north, south, east, and west are. Once you find your north, that's going to be Earth. Set your crystal or herb plant, green candle, clay, whatever, there. Then this is what you do. Some people like to raise their hands up to the sky as if they're speaking to the universe, calling forth this, power in, or this element, this direction in. That's up to you. But here's an example of what I would say. Okay, I would say something along the lines of, welcome north, power of earth, or power element of earth. Nourish and ground us. Come forth and settle here. Protect the circle and bear witness to our right. So mote it be. That's an example. That would be a great thing to say if I was in a group or commanding a group. I'm just speaking an example from what's written in my own book of shadows, because I would do groups a lot back in the day. I'm just reading as an example, but you can also speak from your heart, because when you're calling forth the elements, what you're doing is you're acknowledging, either the watchtower, the element, or that direction, because you could say direction of north, or element of earth, or, watchtower of north, like whatever you want to say. But I prefer the elements, and I like to say, welcome north, powers of element of Mother Earth. Come forth and join us in this circle. Witness this magical moment. Protect this circle and witness this right. So shall it be, or blessed be, or so as it is, whatever. Use the wording that feels right to you, okay? I'm just giving you examples. Okay. Now, when you're done with calling forth earth, then you want to go to the east. Face east. And then you can either raise your hands or open your arms, whatever you feel is inviting or feels right to you. And then you can say something along the lines of, welcome east, powers of air. Guide us in your wisdom and truth. Come forth and settle here. Protect the circle and bear witness to our right. So mote it be. And then when you're done with that, you want to go to the south, which is fire, and do the same thing. Welcome south, power of fire. Grant us passion and transformation. Come forth and settle here. Guard and protect the circle and bear witness to our right. So mote it be. And then you go to the west and you face the west and do the same thing. You say, welcome west, powers of water. Open our hearts to love and our minds and bodies to healing. Come forth and settle here. Protect the circle and bear witness to our ritual. So mote it be. So as you can tell, if you didn't see the pattern, or you couldn't tell, you would say, welcome, whatever powers or whatever you're acknowledging. You're asking them to bring forth specific energies into the circle or into your spell or ritual. Then you're asking them to protect the circle and to bear witness to what's happening in it. So as an example. Now, when you're done at the west and you called all them in, when you're done with that, that's you sealing the circle, okay? So when you're done with the last element or the last direction, your circle is cast. Your barrier is there. So when you're done with that, you can do whatever business you wanted to do in the circle, whether that's meditating, a spell, a ritual, doing divination, whatever, that's up to you. Now, let's say you're done doing whatever you yada, yada, yada gotta do. So when you're done with that, you actually have to close the circle. And when you do that, you're actually going backwards of how you casted it. So when you started at north, you started at north, but here you're going to go exactly backwards as you did before. So we ended at water. We're going to start with water. and then go to fire, air, and earth. So when you're closing the circle, you go backwards. You go back to water, fire, air, earth. Water, fire, air, earth. When you're closing it, water, fire, air, earth. When you're creating a circle, casting a circle, it's earth, air, fire, water. Closing it, dismissing it, the other way. That's a way of banishing, getting rid of. So that's why we do it that way. Or us witches and spiritual practitioners. So, you done doing your whatever. Then we go to the west. And you can open your arms or whatever, that's up to you. And you can say something along the lines of, thank you, element or powers of water, for witnessing and protecting, for witnessing this ritual and protecting this circle. Farewell and safe return. Blessed be. As an example. And then you go, to the south and go to fire and say along the same things of, thank you, power of fire, for witnessing this ritual and protecting this circle. Farewell and safe return. Blessed be. And then you go to the east, which is air, and do the same thing. Thank you, air, for witnessing this ritual and protecting this circle. Farewell and safe return. Blessed be. And then you go to the north, earth, the last one. You say the same thing. Thank you, powers of Mother Earth, for witnessing this ritual and protecting this circle. Farewell and safe return. Blessed be. And if you didn't notice the pattern, right there, you're acknowledging the powers that you summoned. You're saying thank you for being a part of and protecting this circle, this ritual. You're saying goodbye. Thank you. Blessed be, like you're wishing them farewell and thank you. So that's an example of closing the circle. Once you're done with the last element of saying goodbye, you end at the earth. When you're done with that, then you can pick up all the little, the little items that you place at the four corners, and then just clean your area. That's how you cast and close a circle. You prepare your space, you physically clean it, you cleanse it, you can mark out your area of the circle, that's optional, or you can put in just the 4 points. Make sure you're using a compass to determine where your north, south, east, and west is, and then put your placements. Earth, you have everything associated with earth there. So that's your clay, your crystals, whatever, green candle. Air has your air stuff, your feather, incense, bell, yellow candle. Fire has your lighter or your athame, snake, red candle. And then water has shells or water, cups, cauldrons, or a blue candle. So, and then you call forth the elements. You acknowledge the powers you want to come in, which to me is the elements. So I call forth earth, asked the element to bring forth a specific energy, to protect the circle and to witness the ritual. And then I say, so as it is, or so mote it be. And then once you're done calling forth all of the elements, you do your ritual. And then you start at the last place, which is water. You go backwards. You say goodbye, farewell, all that. And then you just finish. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope I made this as clear and easy to understand and to follow. I'm going to type up everything that I mentioned into this video so that you guys can have the notes to add to your own grimoires or Book of Shadows or own, magical journals. But I find that casting a circle can be great, but you have to do it properly for it to work the way you want it to. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about magic circles or how to do this or anything I mentioned, please comment down below and I'll be happy to respond to you. I wish you guys the best and happy manifesting. Blessed be.